Good afternoon. My name is Professor Phuc. I am the professor of University of Information Technologies, Vietnam National University. Today I will present chapter 11 about the system design. In this chapter, I will describe the design phase in terms. I will identify and differentiate between several system design strategies. I will describe the design phase task in terms of computer-based solution for an in-house development. And I describe the design phase in terms of a computers based solution involving procurement of a commercial software solution. First one, I will give you a system design. What does it mean? A system design is a specification of a detailed computer-based solution, also called the physical design. As I discussed with you before, we study about the system analysis. It means logical design. And now we study about the system design. It means the physical design. In physical design, the system analysts emphasize the business problem. System design emphasize the technical or implementation concern of the system. System design approach, I mean about the model-driven, model structure design. Then we information engineering, prototype, object-oriented, and we will discuss about RAD. Now, we discuss about model-driven approach, model structures design. Model-driven strategies, a system design approach that emphasizes drawing the system models to document technical and implementation aspect of a system. Modern structure design, a system design technique that decomposes the system process into manageable components. And you will see a structure chart in the slide. And you see here from a very complicated, approved applicants, it will decompose into many manageable parts. Like here, you see smaller one is get pass, determining acceptance, record review application, and a little bit downward. It means from the very complicated, you decompose your system into smaller one, manageable pixel. Now we go to the model-driven approach, prototype. Prototype means a small scale, incomplete, not yet complete, but working sample of a design system. The prototype approach is an interactive process involving a close working relationship between the designer and the user. And the key benefit is encourage and require active end user participation. Integration accommodates end user who tend to change their mind. Endorsy philosophy that end user won't know what they want until they see it. You see it is to believe it. An active model that end user can interact with. And the error can be detected earlier, can increase creative, and it allows for quicker user feedback and accelerate several phases of the life cycle. I focus on the disadvantage and pitfalls. Accurate code implement and repair. Life cycle that causes maintenance nightmare. Still needs system analysis phasing, but so easy to skip. And cannot complete substitute a prototype for a paper specification. Numeric errors design issues are not addressed by prototyping. and often lead to premature commitment to a design and can reduce creativity in design, often suffer from lower performance because of language consideration. This is a prototype screen. You will see a screen. I mean, in the screen you see many function and many information and many type. And this screen can help you to discuss with the customer. In the future, you will have a dialogue like this, and the customer can help you to allocate the text box or allocate the checkbox, the burdens as good as possible for the end user. Now let me go to the model-driven approach, object-oriented design. As I told you before, we have object-oriented programming. We have object-oriented database. Now we have object-oriented design. Object-oriented design techniques are used to refine the object requirement definition identified earlier during analysis and to define design-specific object. Extension of object-oriented analysis, an attempt to eliminate the separation between the data and the process. As you know, one of the very important key concepts of object-oriented program is to encapsulate the data, the data description and the behavior of the data, process. Now I go to the rapid application development, we call RAD. Rapid application development, RAD, a system design approach that utilizes structure, prototyping, and GAD, Joint Application Development Technique, to quickly develop a system. The merger of various structure techniques to accelerate system development. About the data-driven information engineering, about prototyping, about the joint application development. And joint application development, joint application development, JAD, is a technique that complements other system analysis and design techniques by emphasizing participate development among system owner, user, designer, and builder. During the GAD section for system design, the system designer will take on the role of facilitator for possible several full-day workshops intended to address different design issues and deliverables. And here you see about the system design task for in-house development, design the applicant architecture, define the technology to be used here, and used to build one more on information system, revise model as a physical model, design the system database, database schema, optimize for implementation DBMS, design the system interface, input, output, and dialog specification, prototype, and package design specification, specification to guide programmers, and update project plan. And here you see a physical data flow diagram in the slide 19 you will see. And now you will see an output prototype screen a little bit like a report or an output screen for the customer. And the customer look at your prototype and they can imagine what they will have in the future. And maybe they will give an idea about how to move this column is good for them, or maybe they add more information. And you see here's a dialog interface prototype screen. So by using the prototype, you can understand a little bit about the operation of your system in the future. And here you see the input, the output, the interface screen. And here is a research technical criteria and option. Magazine and journal, international standard may exist for hardware and software selection. Maybe you get the information, technical information. Information services are primarily intended to constantly survey the marketplace for new products and advise prospective buyer on what specification to consider. Our trade newspaper and periodical offer article and inspiration on various types of hardware and software that you may be considering. Solicit proposal or quote from vendor. You request for proposal used to communicate requirement and design feature to prospective vendor. Several different vendor and or products are candidate. You respond with a proposal and request a book for quotation used when you have already designed on a specific product that can be acquired from multiple sources, and they respond you the price quotation because you see in the future you will buy some product from them, so you need the price quotation. And this is the typical outline for request for proposal. You can see here the first one is introduction, the second one is standard and instruction, and then you go to requirement and features, and technical questionnaire and conclusion. And this is a skeleton of the proposal you must set up to design for system design, right? When validate the vendor claim and performance, to reveal the vendor proposal and eliminate any that do not meet on mandatory requirements, absolutely, and validate the vendor claims and promising against validation criteria, user referencing, technical manual, and demonstration, and evaluate and rank vendor proposal, feasibility assessment, scoring system, hard dollar cost. You could have to pay to the selected vendor soft dollar cost. Additional costs you will incur if you select a particular vendor to overcome a shortcoming, etc. And award contract and debrief vendor. You negotiate contract with selected vendor. You debrief vendor that submitted losing proposal, not to offer a second chance, but to inform them to precise witnesses in their proposal and of their product. Impact of buy decision on remaining lifecycle phases. Must integrate or interface the new system to other existing system. Decision analysis you may revision in model to reflect purchasing solution. Implement purchase solution. Integration problem lead to revised business requirement statement. Design technical specification for a subset of programs to integrate purchasing and build solution. Thank you for your joining us.